Gladina McMahon is one of the UK's top 10 life coaches and has helped thousands of people with a variety of problems. Luckily for Teachers TV, Gladina is on hand to respond to some of the requests for help from stressed support staff, tired teachers and harried heads.
Well, I had a call from Nikki McGee this week. She's an RE teacher in Blackpool, and her problem is she's about fit to drop. Well, see what I mean?
Hi, I'm Nikki McGee and I'm mum to Grace and partner to Darren, and I teach at Beacon Hill School. I teach RE and I'm also a play worker for 2 days a week for Home Start. I'm asking Gladina for help because my job has completely taken over my life. My partner is fed up of doing all the housework and all of Grace's homework with her and having to pick her up and drop her off all the time because I'm never around. Technically, I teach Tuesday, Wednesdays and Friday, and I work for a few hours on a Monday morning and Thursday morning for Home Start. I go in on my days off, so on a Monday and a Thursday afternoon I'm sat there marking books on my day off in school, so it's not a balance at all. The Home Start work that I do is I take on a play worker role. It's very important work to me, but it tends to suffer because I don't have time to have the ideas and do the activities that I used to do, which were the reasons I was given the job, because I was seen as quite visionary and energetic, and I don't have that anymore. That's all gone to my teaching.
We have such a lot to do, and sometimes if I'm not feeling 100% myself and I can't cope with everything myself, sometimes I might want Nikki to try and take on some more, and if she's concentrating on her work, it just means she does get stressed out a lot with these other activities. So at the moment it's quite hard. I
think because I'm constantly tired and I'm constantly stressed and I don't have downtime, I get ill a lot more than other people, and that perhaps if I didn't work as hard all the time I wouldn't get ill as often, and I just wouldn't have that awful tension in my stomach and chest area. I would just like to feel calmer and not as if I'm always chasing my tail and that I'm always behind, and that when something comes up unexpected it's not a complete disaster and that the whole world has fallen apart.
Well, poor Nikki, talk about stressed out. I think I'd better get off to her school and see what I can do to help her.
Hello, hi.
Nikki, I'm
Nikki. Hello, hi. Do you want to come through?
Love to, yeah. Well, I saw the video of you, really interesting. Can I shadow you for a while?
Yes, that's fine, yes.
Fantastic, that'd be great.
I've got, right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm just going to go through, if we're listening. I want to know how much, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, how much this young man is worth to us.
No, that's the
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and listening.
Is he on sale?
Listening.
I wouldn't buy him.
Lauren. James.
Hand over the money.
When the children do a good piece of work, they get a raffle ticket for our raffle. And I've also put my raffle tickets down and I've forgotten where I put them. So although I'm marking these now, I'm going to have to do it twice. Because after I've marked them, I'm going to have to go and find my stickers and my raffle tickets and then go through and look who needs a sticker.
So it's like a false economy, really?
It is, yeah.
Because do you know there was a study that actually showed that people slow down when they get stressed?
Yeah, I do. I know that I do.
You've fallen for something that is about, you know, putting in more and more hours, but actually you're less productive. So tell me something about, you know, you and how you're, you know, managing a 24/7 lifestyle.
I manage it really by putting everything else second, which isn't right. I personally feel like I have to keep up the level of work that I'm doing so that I can teach effectively in the classroom.
So when you say you work part-time, how many hours are you contracted for?
I would imagine 25 with my planning is what I should be doing.
Okay, and what are you doing?
On the days that I'm in school, my teaching days, I put in probably about 12 hours in school.
Per day?
Per day, and another hour or 2 at home. On a non-teaching day, I'll come in for 2 to 3 hours at least. And as well, I'll try not to work at weekends, but that doesn't always happen.
So you have a 45-hour week that you're putting in for what should be a part-time post of no more, including external preparation and other time, of 25 hours. So what's the cost to you in terms of, if I was to say to you, physically, how well are you at the moment?
I'm always tired, I'm always pale, I don't sleep for more, I'd say I have on average 4 hours a night during the week.
You know, when you start talking to me like that, you know the word that comes up in my mind? Stress.
Yeah.
When we talk about stress, we're actually talking about a biological factor. We're not just talking about something airy-fairy up in the air. It means your body's pumping out hormones. It's not in your mind, it's in your body. And the long-term effect of those hormones are a lot of physiological stuff that you've just said. Equally, when I kind of look at the hours that you're putting in, you know, part of me says, well, you're on a real collision path with burnout.
I can see what I can cut back, but I can't bring myself to do it. And I've been promising my partner, when I get to January, it will be all right, because it's all on the computer and it's all done, and all my PowerPoints are done, and all my lesson plans are done. And I'm not. Last night, I went back to existing resources, and it was an hour for that lesson that I tinkered.
Okay, so one of the things I want you to think about, though, okay, is how you can use what you have with as little tinkering as possible. I'm going to say that you're allowed 20 minutes of tinkering. And I want
Per lesson.
Per lesson.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about how you plan.
I watch student teachers and they plan like me, because no one else I know has a written lesson plan. Like when I shared a class with my head of department and she said to me, can you let me know what you're doing? I gave her my lesson plan and I could see her eyes sort of roll back in her head, and she said, you don't do that for every lesson. But that's my way of knowing what I'm doing and being in control.
I would like you to actually start, before I come back, to talk to your colleagues.
Right.
And find out from them how they get a work-life balance. Also find out from them what they think about you. Okay, and the way you do things. When I saw you in your class, they are quite a rowdy class. I mean, you know, anybody in there would actually be having to work quite hard, I think.
Yeah.
There was one thing I did wonder, and that is about maybe things like using your voice a bit differently with them.
Right, yeah.
Yeah? Because you are firm with them, but I actually wonder if your voice reflects that.
Right, because I do have, and I'm very conscious of that, I do have quite a girly soft voice, which suits some of the ways that I teach, but with a class that is more challenging, where I have to use my voice, that is an issue for me.
The thing is, you can train yourself.
Right, yeah.
And one of the ways you do it is you slow down the way you speak. Because when we speak very, very fast, we have you got a drama teacher here?
Yes, I have, yeah.
Right, voice lessons.
Right, okay.
Okay, so realistically, do those tasks sound like tasks? Not that you might want to do, but that you can do.
Yeah.
And will do.
Yeah.
Well, I think Nikki's got to be one of the hardest working teachers that I've met in a long time. But I'm really worried about her, because if she doesn't take control of that train, she's going to burn out. So let's see what she can do.
I suppose I've just always assumed that I would be a teacher, and she's made me think that perhaps I could do something else and be as good, if not better, at that, and not have to work the hours that I work and have it end up tired and ill, depressed, stressed, angry, which I do, and which is all related to my job and the hours that I work. I've been having conversations about things that I could do less, and most people have said that I could maybe plan a little bit less or find some shortcuts. So I've been trying to use some textbooks a bit more, which I never use. And I've also stopped trying to be super Nikki, and I've gone to my head of department a few times and said, I haven't planned something for this, do you have something? And she's given me stuff, and I've managed in the sort of 20 minutes that Gladina's allocated to tweak that so that it suits me. And again, I've not felt as happy as I would do going in with my stuff, but it wasn't bad. Nobody died, there was no riot, and they all did what I wanted them to do. So maybe I just have to let go a little bit.
Sounds like Super Nikki's been struggling. What will our Super Life Coach make of it?
Hi Nikki,
Hello,
nice
hi,
to
come
see
in.
you again, thanks. Well, Nikki, when I left you, you had a number of exercises to complete. So how have they been going?
I've tried all of them and had varying success. I've been concentrating on my voice, and I've spoken to the music teacher and other members of staff about how I can use my voice better. And the pupils have said that my voice isn't as annoying anymore, and people who teach on the corridor with me say that I don't whine like I used to. Apparently I used to shriek and whine a bit. And I've tried speaking with more authority, so again I'm using my voice better and not as much, which is less stress on me, which is making me less tired. I've tried using the timer when I was reworking last year's resources, and that hasn't worked really.
Okay.
Because I'm not the sort of person that when it comes to 20 minutes I can stop if I'm not happy, but I'm definitely doing things quicker, and I tend to find that I can work for about half an hour on something and usually I'm happy with it. And if I've got to about half an hour and I'm not, I'm certainly thinking you need to speed up a bit. So maybe I'm not doing things exactly as you wanted, but I think that's, you have to mould it to suit you, don't you?
Absolutely. I think that's really important, because you can take an exercise and you can use it, and for some people that exercise is fine, but for other people they have to customise it, and I think that's what you're talking about. So that's absolutely fine. So what about your colleagues' comments then, Nikki?
I've discovered that people thought I was a little bit odd before because I work so hard, and that I was quite unapproachable, and I found that perhaps the way that I was working was putting colleagues off me in a way and was making my life harder.
Okay.
So although I still work hard, I do try and make time to chat to colleagues, and if colleagues are going for a drink I will join them, and that just creates more informality really, and that I can go to colleagues. I've built up a relationship now where if I'm really struggling with a pupil or with something that I've got to do, I can go and ask for help and people will give me help. I've tried to allow a lot more time for Grace and for Darren, and to try and create more me time so that I'm calmer and not stressing at people. And my Monday mornings are quite holy now, and they're for me to go and have a coffee and read the paper and then go to the gym. And they used to be eaten up by me marking at work, and that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah. Well, I think that's fantastic, because I think you've learnt a really important lesson, and the lesson is that you are a lovely person. You know, you are a lovely person, but when you're that focused on something, the aura that you give off, because you're so task focused, is not approachable.
Yeah.
And so people will go, oh well, you know, and they'll kind of back off, and it's always a surprise to someone when they find that out. So now, of course, they're seeing the real you. Well, Nikki, really well done.
Thank you.
And it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
You take care.
I will do. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 I'd be lying if I said I'd achieved everything, and it's very much a work in progress. I'm still going on my days off, but I'm not working at weekends, and I very, very rarely work in evenings. So I'm much happier now with what I'm doing, and I'm not as tired because I'm not working the hours. So there is progress, but there's more to do.